Hello, and welcome back to Ali Farm again. Now, we're going to put off feeding the cows for now because I want to show you something else that's been happening. Actually, we'll go and grab my side by side. So we're off to my son's place. Well, it's not really my son's place. I'm going to explain what's happening there. So, as you know, this is my little dairy farm. It's a fairly small dairy farm. There's not a lot of money in this one, that's for sure. I struggle to make a living on this farm, and I end up doing a lot of contract work in order to help with that. But one thing I do own, as well as the main house there that I'm in, I also own the house down this driveway here. I don't own the paddock to the right of us right now. I do own the paddock to the left. So this is the house that I own, that I when I've got people coming to do work for me on the farm, they stay in this house here. I'm just going to park this out of the way somewhere, so see if we can squeeze it through. Now, what I wanted to do on this house is use the object hider mod to get rid of that red car, because I didn't really want the red car there. However, because although I say I own this house, and that's how I treat it, according to the map, if we go to the map here, and we go X tree what I own, when I zoom in here, this house is up here on the edge of paddock 14, so it's showing I don't own it. And even if I bought that, that still wouldn't give me that house. So there's no way to actually own that house. And because I don't own the house according to the map, even though I'm treating it as my own, oops, that's not helpful. So it'll just, well, anyway. That means I can't use the object hider mod, which is odd because on other maps it's allowed me to hide stuff on maps even if it's not stuff on property I own. So, for an example, hiding barriers on roads and things like that to tidy up the borders a wee bit. Okay, I'll just leave my side by side there for now. So yeah, on other maps it's allowed me to hide objects even though they're not on property I own, but on this map it will not allow me to hide this car, so it's just going to stay there, I'm sorry. But anyway, this house is the one that I own, which is where farm workers stay when I've got farm workers coming to help me with stuff. And right now my son's staying there. And he's got a mate staying with him, so this is his mate's truck here, and this is my son's truck. Now, we're going to ride with my son to go and have a look at, he's just bought some property, and I would like to show you that. So, we have to reverse down the drive, I think, because it's a fairly tight yard there to try and turn around in. Okay. And this is a 2013 Hilux, so it's getting a wee bit long in the tooth now, but it does the job still, so he's happy with it. Now, what my son has done, if we drive down here, is he's bought some land down here. Now, what I'm about to show you may look familiar to you. So I used to have this on the farm before, and then I decided I didn't like it, so I got rid of it, and now I've redone it again, so it's back again. So yeah, if it looks familiar to you, that'll be why. But he's bought this field right here on the corner. So we'll just go in there. I'll jump out and open the gate since he's driving. Got it? Yep, it's got it. Cool, come on then. I'll leave the gate open for now while we're down here. So he's bought this land, and my son has always had a great deal of interest in growing strawberries. So what he's done with this land here, I'll jump out of his truck now, is he's got these greenhouses. They're not actually glass houses because they're made of, they're covered in plastic, but they're a decent size. So they're a commercial size greenhouse. And as you can see, well, you can't actually see the strawberries there. You can only see the green bits of them there. But if we go along to one of the other ones, there might be some strawberries you can see. No, sometimes you can see the red underneath as well. And this last one, the land drops away a wee bit there, so it's actually slightly underwater there at the moment. And it's funny because it wasn't until I was setting up for this video that I realised that this last greenhouse ends up underwater when it's been raining or anything, and it was raining during the night, because I've got that mod loaded that means that low areas flood, and I didn't realise that this part of this paddock was a low area. So yes, I'm not sure how strawberries would grow, whether or not they grow here where it's floods. But anyway, he's got these 5 greenhouses set up here, and as I said, they're made of plastic, they're not made of glass, so they're greenhouses rather than glass houses. And the idea is he's bought this whole paddock, which extends back quite a long way here. Now, when he bought it, it was all in grass, and he's had to plough up all this dirt. He cultivated, I believe, to get rid of all the grass here, get it back to dirt, and all of these concrete bits and pieces here, and these are the things that you stick on a tractor to stir the slurry in the if you've got a slurry pit, to stir the slurry to keep it all mixed up. So all those were lying around in the grass, and we broke a few blades of the a few of the wheels in the cultivator while trying to plough all this up, because there was just so much crap on the ground there. But the idea is, he only had the money to put in the 5 greenhouses at the moment, but he actually owns this bit here. This is part of the same big paddock. So if we go to the map again for a second, I'll show you. So on the map, this is all paddock 49, as you can see, the whole thing there. There's one big paddock, paddock 49. He's put the fence across for the time being, and the reason he's done that for the time being is these are not his sheep. These sheep belong to another neighbour. You can see their farm just across the road there. You can see the green sheds in the distance over there. So that farmer there owns these sheep, but my son obviously taken on a mortgage to buy this land, so he's got some of these sheep on the property to help subsidise the mortgage. And there's 15 white sheep and 1 black one, so there's the black one. So yes, the sheep belong to the farmer across the road, but my son's grazing them on his land here to and getting some money for that, and that's helping him receive income to pay off the mortgage. And he's also got the greenhouses there. But his long-term plans, this fence and gate will come out again. The whole land will all be turned into greenhouses. He wants to go into big-scale strawberry production, and what he'll do, because as I said, I own the house that he's staying in across the road from me at the moment. Eventually he'll put a driveway in here, in this hedge right here from this road, and he'll put a house on this end of the land, so you'll access that from the driveway. I'm not sure exactly where he's planning on putting the house. I think it's somewhere around about here. And all the rest of this land, these trees will probably have come out. The pylon's not on his land there, so he's okay there. Eventually this whole paddock, except in this tree here, will also have to come out, except for that one little area in the edge there where he'll have his house built, will all be greenhouses for the strawberries. Now I think down this way, I think there is a pylon that's on his land. Yes, this one here. That's the only pylon that's on his land though, that one there. So yes, he's got very, very big plans, and my wife and I are helping him as much as we can. So what we're doing at the moment, like, as I said, he's had to take on a mortgage to buy this field, and so he's subdivided it temporarily, and he's got the sheep to help pay off the mortgage. He also had he borrowed enough with the mortgage so that he could afford to put in those first 5 greenhouses, so he can start making some money from strawberries, because that's what he's really into, is strawberry growing. He's picked up a lot of crap off the land here, as you can see, as we were cultivating it. Broke a few wheels off the cultivator, hitting all these bits of concrete that were buried in the grass that couldn't see and things. But the plan is to get rid of all that junk, and then eventually, as I said, I will probably help him build a house down that far end of the paddock. But as a temporary measure, we'll probably put a caravan on the land here that he can live in, either a caravan or a more temporary type house, one that I suppose in the States you'd call them a double wide. I don't think you can get double wides in Ireland, but just a bigger caravan, or a building that's, you know, doesn't have the same kind of permanent foundations that a normal building might have. More like a what do you call it? A like temporary cottage you can put down there. So that's the plan. So I'm going to be helping my son put a temporary cottage in there where all that rubbish is, in order to be able to live on his own land. Although admittedly I'm not charging him rent in the little house that he's in right now, and the reason for that is that if I did get workers in, he would need to move back out of that house, and he'd move back into the main house with me until he's got some sort of living quarters on his land there. So at the moment he's kind of switching around a wee bit between living in the main house there on the right and living in the little farm house here. Now in New Zealand, because remember a lot of New Zealand is predominantly sheep farming, okay, so in New Zealand a little house like this would probably be called the shearer's quarters, because you'll have a house like this, or caravans. You either have a second house or caravans on a property, so that when it comes shearing time, you'll get the shearing gang in, they'll stay in the house or caravans, whatever you've got available there. So yeah, in New Zealand a little house like this would probably be called a shearer's cottage. But obviously, since this is a dairy farm rather than a sheep farm, we wouldn't really refer to it as a shearer's cottage. So it's just a little farmhouse for any temporary workers or anything that I've got to stay in. And right now, because I don't have any workers in right now, it's only just finished being winter. This is the first month of spring, so there's really nothing much to do on the farm right now, so I don't need to get any workers in right now, which is why my son's been able to shift into the, or call it the shearer's cottage, or the shearer's quarters still, even though it's not really that. But yes, we're hoping to get a portable cabin put on his property there, once we've moved all that junk out of the way, that he can live in. So he's living on his own land, just because he wants that independence that comes from living on your own land. As I said, he's not actually paying rent where he is, but he just wants to have the independence of living on his own land, and I think jolly good on him too. You know, most people his age can't even afford their own land, so I'm quite impressed, and my wife and I are more than happy to help him in any way we can by, you know, letting him live rent free there and helping him put up at temporary quarters and things. And once the strawberry growing becomes a bit more productive and there's a bit more money in it, he's still perfecting the art at the moment, then he'll be able to stop having the sheep there, the neighbour's sheep there that he's got there for extra income at the moment, and he'll be able to just concentrate on the strawberries. Plus perhaps I might be able to offer him some work on my farm from time to time when I need the extra hands, if he's got the time available, and that would also be some extra income for him. But yeah, that's the longer term plans for him. Otherwise, things are going quite well on the farm here. I had my wedding anniversary just the other day. Didn't record that, I'm sorry. That was a but yeah, and my wife, interesting enough, I'm not quite sure why she's upset with me. She does seem slightly upset with me at the moment, but I did exactly what she asked for. She said for her wedding anniversary, she said she wanted something black and lacy. So I bought her a pair of rugby boots. And yeah, I don't know where I've gone wrong there, but she's hardly spoken a word to me since. So obviously something's gone awry. But, you know, that's women for you. Who can understand them? Certainly I can't. Well, I think I've got to feed the cows now. And I've just fed the chickens, so they're okay. That's at, what, 7:40 now, so that's alright, yep. So I'll get the cows fed. So I might go and top up the water, help give my son a hand by topping up the water in the strawberry area there. Now, one interesting thing about his land there is at the moment he's not connected to the water mains. So I've got this outside tap here, and you might have noticed a water tanker down there. So at the moment, right now, because he doesn't have a tractor, so he either connects that water tanker to the back of his ute, or he buys my tractor, brings the tanker trailer down here, fills it up at my tap, and then takes it back down to his property to fill up the water barrels at the greenhouse. I'll show you what I mean. We'll take the tractor down now, and I'll demonstrate exactly what I mean there. There we go. So yes, at the moment his property is not connected to the water mains that are under the road, and the reason for that is as soon as they're connected to the water mains, he's going to have a water bill that he'll have to start paying. And right now, it's about saving money anywhere he can. So he's not connected to the water mains at the moment, and when we put a little portable cabin or something on his land, we're probably going to have to put a water tank on there as well, so that he can collect rainwater. The good news, of course, is he has bought a second-hand old aluminium water tanker, which he's got down here on his property. So if we get a period with not a lot of rain, that was a bit scary just then, which probably won't happen because this is Ireland, so you won't get periods of not very much rain, I don't believe. But anyway, if we do get periods of no rain, and as a result his water tank gets a bit low, then he can just grab this water tanker that he's bought here. He got this second hand off a farming website where you can buy second-hand farm equipment and things. I went to help him pick it up from Dublin, and just went with him for the ride in his ute when we went to pick up this water tanker. But so yeah, if the water tank to service his little portable cabin with does run dry, then he can just grab this water tanker, run it down to my farm here and fill it up from my tap there, because I am on the water mains, and that's why I've got pumping stations for my cow paddocks. Because I'm on the mains, I don't need to be running around putting water in water troughs for all the paddocks, because I just filled up directly from the mains. But yeah, for the time being at least, he's not on the mains, so it's a wee bit of a hassle, but I like to help him out. So what we do here is we just grab this tanker trailer which he bought, come on down here, fill it up from my water tap there, and then if we head back down to his property for a moment. This tanker he bought is actually in remarkably good condition, and he only paid a couple of $1,000s for it because it was second hand. So I think he actually did alright with this tanker. Get out of the road, dog. Okay, so heading back down here. Just as well he doesn't live too far from my place, since he's not on the water mains at the moment or anything like that. Because otherwise it'd be a long trek each day to come and collect water from my place. Once he's got a water tank in for a portable cabin, he may also be able to have an outside tap attached to that tank so that when there's enough water in the tank, and only if there's enough water in the tank, you can actually collect the water from his very own tank and just not have as far to carry it. But each of these greenhouses has a blue barrel here, and these blue barrels need, there we go, topping up. Now I will demonstrate. I'll just go down to here for a second and I'll show you. So that's the one that we've just filled up, but overnight, as you can see, we haven't used that much. That's not a real gauge there because it was only during the day yesterday, so it wasn't right at the beginning of the day that these were all put in and filled up. So I'm not sure exactly how much water they're going to use each day, but I suspect that what will end up happening is we won't actually need to add water to these blue barrels every single day. You might need to do it every second day or thereabouts, but we'll just wait and see. But he'll probably need, when he does fill them up, he'll probably need to make 2 trailer loads to do it. I think we'll manage to do 1 trailer load today. But yep, we've got 8 litres left there. Because as I said, there wasn't a whole day since they were filled up yesterday. So he's going to be pretty much right today with just that 1 tanker load. So that's all those greenhouses, and of course once there's more greenhouses he'll either need to spend a lot more of the day going around filling up barrels, or what's probably more likely in the longer term plan is that he will get connected to the mains so that he'll just have a pump to fill all of the greenhouses up all the time, just keep them full. But at the moment, because he's not on the mains, a pump was just out of the question for the time being. But there we go, giving him a hand there by filling up all of his greenhouse barrels today for him. And now we'll head back home and we will feed all of our cows, which is the next job I've got for today. But I'll do that off camera because I know that you've all seen me feed my cows a million times and you probably don't want to see that again now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if any of you have any idea about what I did wrong for my wedding anniversary, please do let me know, because I'd love to know where I've gone astray and what I've misunderstood. I mean, I thought that when she said she wants something black and lacy for her wedding anniversary, I thought getting her a pair of rugby boots was an absolute surefire winner. But yeah, so I don't know what I've done wrong there. So if any of you have any ideas, please do let me know, and I'll catch you all later on. Thank you very much. Bye.